haters talking about.
What's up, family? An ex-Florida police officer by the name of Norman Roger was found guilty of manslaughter and attempted murder for shooting and killing a black man in 2015. The verdict means Roger, who is of South Asian descent, is the first officer in Florida to be convicted of an on-duty shooting in 30 years. Roger was fired from the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department shortly after the shooting and has been under house arrest since being charged in 2016. A Palm Beach County jury reached its verdict after deliberating for more than 4 hours over 2 days. Roger, 41, now faces 25 years to life in prison for killing 31-year-old stranded black driver Corey Jones. On October 18, 2015, Roger was on duty in plain clothes and in an unmarked cargo van while investigating late-night auto burglaries in the area. Jones, a drummer for a reggae band, was driving on the highway after returning from a performance when his car broke down. Prosecutors say the way it went down is that Corey Jones was on the phone with the roadside assistance call center, and he was explaining his mechanical problems with his car. When Roger rolls up on the wrong side of the freeway in an unmarked van, he's in plain clothes, he has no protective vest on or anything identifying himself as a police officer, and he rolls up on Roger and say, "Hey, what's going on?" Prosecutors said that at no point did Roger indicate to Jones that he was a police officer when he approached his stranded vehicle. The brief verbal exchange between the two men was recorded as part of Jones's phone call with the roadside assistance center after he opened his door. Jones, huh? Roger, you good? Jones, I'm good. Roger, really? Jones, yeah, I'm good. Roger, really? Jones, yeah. Roger, get your fucking hands up. Get your fucking hands up. Jones, hold on. Roger, get your fucking hands up. Drop. Jones then got out his gun and ran away from his car as Roger shot at him 6 times in a span of 13 seconds, according to court documents. During the shooting, Jones threw his gun away in the grass as he ran from the car, prosecutors said. 3 of Roger's bullets struck Jones, one of which fatally struck his chest. After the shooting, Roger called 911 and told the dispatcher that Jones had exited his vehicle with a handgun and that he had given him commands to drop the gun. "I identified myself and he turned, pointed the gun at me and started running," Roger told the 911 operator, according to court documents. "I shot him." Roger has filed an appeal on the grounds that the jury was not properly informed on what is justifiable use of deadly force by a police officer. Now, you know, out the gate, elephant in the room. If he was white, it'd be a totally different story. The only reason why I believe they convicted him is because he is of Indian descent. Oh yeah. See, they got separate laws for separate people. And he got a mild case of when acting white goes wrong. See, he was acting white. He thought he was a white boy for a moment. Got his check. They got 2 separate laws, man, going on in America. This is why I don't really trip, man, when people do their own thing. I just feel like, man, we just at a point where people are just gonna start taking the law into their own hands because there's 2 separate laws. There's 2 separate ways that they apply so-called justice. And if you can't get justice under the law, what do you think people gonna start doing? I mean, this ain't me advocating it. This is just human nature. The odds tell me that sooner or later, that's what's gonna start happening. If people feel like they're not going to get justice if they go through the proper channels, if they go through the courts. The courts are not going to be fair. What do you think is going to happen? One of the greatest injustices is justice denied. I'm telling you, y'all mark my words, it's coming. I was wondering how they got a conviction. As soon as I saw the story, I was like, wait a minute. First conviction in 30 years in the state of Florida, police officer convicted of murder? Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Oh, okay, that's what it was. Okay, it wasn't white. Got it. You know that's a travesty already. You know damn well that in 30 years, all of the cop killings, all of the homicides, in 30 years, you only got one? That ain't right. Something ain't adding up. He'll get out on appeal, I do believe. Even so, even though they convicted him, man, they got a hell of a mob thing going on. They got a hell of a hold on that judicial system. That law enforcement, man, they got a hell of a hold. And so just being convicted ain't enough. They can get convicted. I've seen it time and time again where they've been convicted and then the conviction was overturned and then eventually thrown out, or they was exonerated in some other kind of way. I mean, they just got all kind of games that they play, and it's totally stacked against the citizens who pay their salaries, who pay for their kids to go to college, to get involved in extracurricular activities, who pay for their vacations and these nice clothes that they wear, the nice home they live in. It's just absolutely amazing how much more privilege they get over the people who actually write their checks. Absolutely amazing. Because you almost never see stuff like this, a cop being convicted. And you've seen thousands, ain't not a couple of dozen, but thousands, not a few hundred, but thousands of cases of rogue cops. And they getting a slap on the wrist if they get anything, any type of punishment. They just basically just move them around from department to department. Most of the time they resign and they just go somewhere else and continue their criminal activity. Because, that's the culture. Let's face it. That is the culture. One thing about it, I would love to see him be put in general population and let the inmates get their justice. I do believe if that happens, that there will be justice. Ultimately, this is a cause for celebration for right now, just a moment. But you know what really would get me excited? If it happened to a white cop. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?
Yeah.